take his seat.
And Your Excellency, I remember your words. You gave me 5 priorities in that discussion, which I want to quickly recall. The first one, you guided us, said, go and focus on the mindset change. Try to build a critical mass in CID that understands the country's direction, and then we can be able to have transformation. Your Excellency, I'm very happy that in the last 2 years or so, you have supported the training of 450 officers. Now, I want to conclude my remarks, Musei, by requesting for 1 or 2 things from you. We have been trying to improve on the process of getting this crime data in time and utilize it to guide decision making. So we want to request you to support us to put up a crime data analysis center, because CID, as you know, is the one which produces the annual crime report. We are the ones who are supposed to provide all of you quick and timely information on crime. I have the land, Mzee, as the Honorable Minister asserted me. So I would really want you to help me on that. You come in and we see how we can quickly do this. And now the last request, Mzee, I have land here. This place, we have been here since 1930s. We used to have a training school here. I say used because the structures now are all gone. So Mzee, that's the last area I would request you, because now that we have trained generally, we realize we need now to start specialized courses. You are in homicide detectives, come here, we teach you as you work, so that in the process, Mzee, we can be able to have better quality. Those are my 2 requests.
I bleed when I see police officers who are working at Ginger Road sleeping in Mukono, and they must come to work on time and then go back on their meager salaries. There is need for housing, the police, the prison, and the Directorate of Immigration. You know, Your Excellency, remember I had a quarrel with these gentlemen of the Law Council when they were saying we should examine the people before they go to LDC. My question was, you don't teach cybercrime, cyber law. You don't teach forensic law. You don't teach sports law. You don't teach maritime law. You don't teach. Do you need these judges and these lawyers? When you put a pre-entry, those who didn't study these things and did them abroad are at a disadvantage. And yet we need these people. Similarly, the CID ought to be educated in these disciplines. We need CID officers who are conversant with cybercrime, who are conversant and competent with maritime law, with the oil and gas, with the etc. So, Your Excellency, there is need for adequate training for CID officers, reshaping and adequate training for CID officers. We have this problem of the existential threat to national integrity and development, corruption. I find it a bit difficult that it's only you blowing the clarion call to fight corruption when the rest of us in leadership are a bit silent. I think I call on my colleague leaders, political leaders, to stand up and we support the president in fighting against corruption. I'm not here to spoil the wedding. But I beg of you to do internal search and have a perpetual recitation of mea culpa. That's what will solve your reputation, and cause the advancement of our society.
I want to thank Magambo for this effort of trying to make you belong to Uganda. So, when you call yourself a public servant, a public servant of where? Of Uganda, or UK, or where? If you say you are UK, then of course you are in the wrong place, because this is Uganda. The Uganda have described it to you. About that technology, when I listened to it carefully, and I said, can it work? Then people went and they said it can work. If it can work, that would solve so many of these problems. Because that would mean the criminals who would fear using cars, fear using motorcycles, if they start using bicycles or walking on foot, then that will mean they will be less efficient. So therefore, I would want to advise you people, make use of technical solutions. Discuss them thoroughly. Don't bring business groups, people are lobbying for businesses, then you become their agent. You, instead of being a police officer, you are now an agent of business people. Get the technology. So whenever I get some of this technology, my first question is, can it work? The science, is the science correct? If the science is correct, then we move. So therefore, these technical solutions will help you. Now, regarding the other digital telephones, social media, absolutely, you need to get equipment for that. Therefore, coming to the crime data center, I totally support it. We shall have to build it. And the forensic center, I don't know what happened. There was talk about it. We shall have to work on it. I like the ideas of Justice Abodo, like the land issues being handled promptly, locally, instead of filing lawyers and so on. That's you study Abodo's idea of handling them off grid, directing the villages. You study it. Now, finally, the issue of bail. Because this issue of bail, if the case is ready for trial, I think is really a big mistake. I can understand if the case is not yet ready for bail, after 6 months, you can think of bail. But if the case is ready for trial, why do you not try it and finish it? Especially if it is a case of murder or corruption, like in the case of these politicians, or rape or treason. Why do you concentrate on, even for the accused? I would want to say, you try me quickly and I prove my innocence. Why do you want to prolong it? So I think the Attorney General should see how to help us on the issue of bail. The Chief Justice, through Chief Justice's instruction, had clarified that applying for bail is a right. You can apply. But granting bail is not a right. It is a decision by the judge, taking into account the circumstances. So those judges who are just giving bail because it's not a right. It's not a right because, yes, the accused has rights, but the victims also have rights. You cannot say that the rights of the accused are the only rights in the Constitution. Because, be careful with these Africans. Africans still believe in the law of Moses. An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. This is their justice. This one of Jesus, loving your enemies, that's a new idea.